angle of going into the multifamily arena. And so at this point, I'm just trying to glean as much as possible on how to get into that atmosphere of investing into multifamily. Whether it's I know duplexes and triplexes are a bit uh, tough
Yeah.
to come by, but
Yeah.
just to start in a particular area. Right now, I'm working on a single family home um, to hold as a long term as a rental, and I'm working to hopefully secure another opportunity through owner financing. And so I've learned from other resources, YouTube or whatnot, that a lot of owners or in multifamily tend to be more opt to doing owner financing. So a lot of times that takes away a lot of that strain of trying to get capital or raise capital, unless you're trying to renovate the building or whatever it's not. So I'm just similar to Marlene, just trying to get someone to work with or a mentor to just to help more with the multifamily, so that I can really indulge into that atmosphere.
Excuse me. I'll tell you guys, like one of the things that I'm trying to do too is like, so I believe me, my God, I could talk real estate for not hours, for days, right? I could talk nonstop real estate for days. And I've actually done it, you guys. The first meetup that I went to, I tell this story all the time. I was just going to learn how to do it, and the guy didn't show up. And I ended up, talking on the topic of multifamily investing. And I went on for 2 hours, and the questions just kept coming, and I kept answering them, and it was a lot of fun. So for me, real estate, I eat, breathe, sleep, everything real estate, right? So I could tell you from my own experience, how you could, get equity from your house, use that for passive investing, or to buy, like let's say something smaller, but then you eventually want to like keep growing, right? Scaling. And that's what's great about larger apartment units is the economies of scale. You could go from, your first deal, let's say it was 20 units, or even a duplex, but you could go from duplex all the way to 100 units. And how connections, networking, um, you guys, by all means, find me on LinkedIn. And the reason I say that is because it's a great resource where I might be able to introduce you to other investors. I have over 3,000 investors in my list and people that are in the industry, right? So I'm an open book. I love to help, like I've said countless times. And what I'm trying to do is actually get everybody together, like Angel, me, Prashant, Madvi, all these people, we all know each other, right? And this whole multifamily sector, it's a very small little planet, if you will. And you think it's so huge, but it's mostly the same investors buying a lot of deals, right? So what I mean by that is, as you get to know, let's say me today, right? I could introduce you to the next guy, and the next guy or lady that I introduce you to might say, "Hey, guess what? I heard you're looking to get started. What I do is I bring capital. You find a deal, I'll put my capital on it." And that's how. So to answer both your questions, Marlene, and yours, is how do you get started with, like, let's say when you don't know enough? And yeah, definitely join a mentor group. But on top of that, you could um you could invest alongside someone, right? You could put your own capital in somebody's deal, and you're going to learn that way. You could get the equity of your home and do that. Um, and what I'm doing, seriously, I'm really tired of kind of like right now, like being on the fence, right, myself. So I'm going, man, you know, I've been there, I've invested before, and I just need a little bit more capital. So I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to get that capital, and I'm going to put that capital in somebody else's deal, but strategically. So that person who I'm going to invest in, I'm going to look in the future for them to kind of guide me too, right? I want that person to kind of take me by the hand. Hey, look, I gladly want to invest with you. I believe in your deal. Could you help me like just a little bit, kind of catapult my career a little bit? How can we help each other, right? So that's something else. And then look for people that have complementary skill sets. I'm a little red. I think I've been drinking too much coffee today. But look for people with complementary skill sets that, let's say you analyze properties and it comes really quickly to you. Get somebody who's great with investor relations and partner up, team up. You cannot, you will not buy 100 units on your own. Let's say even if you are a trillionaire, right? And let's say you go, I'm not going to work with anybody. I'm going to try to do this on my own. It's still difficult because you got to juggle a lot of balls at the same time. Acquisitions, investor relations, asset management, property management, um, financials, Securities and Exchange Commission, and the list goes on and on. There's so many different stuff. So what I'm trying to say is make sure to team up with people that have complementary skill sets of whatever you're lacking, and that you have complementary skill sets for whatever they might be lacking. Awesome question. Um, and so like myself, I'm always looking uh for capital. That's what I'm looking for. Because I was telling Angel briefly, I'm just about ready to start a fund of funds. And I had no idea that that was something that was going to benefit me, right? Quick story. But what I did is I put myself out there. I said, man, I want to raise capital on deals. I want to be on deals raising capitals. This is my track record, right? Like I told you guys, 5 and 6 units, joint ventures, and single family homes. Um, and I've raised capital on deals. The deal didn't go through, but not no fault of mine, right? I did my part in the deal. So my point is get yourself out there and let people know that, hey, I'm looking to get started and I want to invest. I want to get started in syndications. And you'd be surprised how willing people are to share their wisdom with you and help you along the way. Um, and I think Angel was here that day too. We had Prashant Kumar, a nice investor. He's a broker as well. I have the highest regard for him. And I consider him a great friend. He was on one of my first meetups. And Prashant gave me the opportunity to raise capital on his deal. So I was an equity partner. I actually called him out because we had a conversation before, uh, over the phone. And I called him out and I said, hey, Prashant, your next deal, get me in there, man. I want to be in there. Help me out. And I promise you, Prashant said, Carlos, you're in. The next deal, you're in. And that was the case. Carlos, he called me in, and I'll tell you, he called a couple other guys that he wanted to give opportunities to. So it's out there. You got to let people know. Network, LinkedIn, hit people up. Um, get yourself a Facebook page. Create a thought leadership platform like this, where you could bring other investors in, right? Um, write an ebook, give it out for free, give it out for an email. That's what I'm doing. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not going to give you advice on something that I don't believe in myself. What I'm telling you right now, this is actually what I literally am doing this very minute. And like I was telling Angel last year in the meetup, 2023, I'm doing a syndication. Live or die, I'm doing a syndication this year. I'm investing in a deal, right? And I really believe, and I'm glad Angel's like smiling because I really believe that you got to have that conviction to it. You got to see it. And I'm a strong believer too in law of attraction and stuff like that. I really believe you because I learned that way back in I think it was PE or something, where you write down your goals, right? And you envision your goals. And in football, we used to do it all the time. I played running back and wide receiver. We did that all the time, and we would envision whatever we wanted to do, winning the game, scoring the winning touchdown, and Lord and behold, you would play the game. And then, oh my God, I scored the winning touchdown. Oh my God, we won the game. Oh my God, we scored. You know what I mean? Because you got to. I think you have to see it in your mind and let people know what you're doing. And I think that's going to be a great way to get started.
So your next move is trying to get into syndication. How does that work? the syndications. Basically, you put in your money to somebody else.
Excuse me.
I guess a project that they're doing. Because I hear you mention it a number of times, so just want to know a little
Yeah.
bit more about the syndication.
Yeah, right on. And you guys, I'm sorry, I meant to tell you, but you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt earlier. I am recording the breakout room. And I always record this. I do edit it. So if there's any like mistakes that you guys, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that, whatever, I will edit it and I'll put it on my YouTube channel. So feel free to go back to my YouTube channel, check it out. You can review it, whatever. Um, but essentially what a syndication is basically a pulling of capital to purchase apartment buildings or whatever it could be. There's syndications to do movies. So every time you go to a movie at the beginning credits, you see that this movie is Lionsgate. And then in Lionsgate after that, you see whatever, another company comes out and there's like 3 or 4 companies. Those are people that put in their capital to finance that movie, to make sure that that movie got started. Same thing with syndications and multifamily. We're grabbing investor capital and pulling all their monies together to purchase properties, multifamily apartment buildings that we know are going to benefit the investor first and foremost. And based on the internal rate of return, how quick they're going to get their money back, the cash on cash, how much money are they going to get per money invested, and the internal rate of return, which is also like the long term of the investment, how based on the time, how well is the investment, um, and the preferred returns as well. So we usually in this market, you're seeing a lot of like 7% pref, which means the investors, the limited partners that invested their capital. In this case, let's say I sold my house, I got my capital, I put it in a deal with Angel. That money has a preferred return. So if I'm giving 100,000, let's say, I'll get 7% first before the general partners get any money, right? But the good thing about that is the limited partners are your main focus. Because if you got people who are investing in your deals that are making good money, they're going to want to keep coming back and investing in your deals. So syndication, again, the definition is a pulling of capital to purchase whatever the case might be, XYZ. In this case, it's multifamily.
So can I interject and ask a quick question
Please,
for
yes. I wish I had water. Yes, please. No, I'm just saying, I'm so
is
thirsty.
Angel, that's okay. Is Angel a realtor here? Or I know you're a realtor here, but
Yeah.
you do multifamilies. Where is Angel located? In Texas?
Yeah, we're in North Texas.
Oh, okay.
We've got a little bit of a lot of stuff.
Okay.
We've been in residential for 20 years. And so
Mhm.
I'm never, ever, ever going to fault somebody for wanting to be in residential. We've got 6 singles, a quad, and a couple of duplexes, and I don't foresee us ever getting rid of them.
Okay.
As long as they're making money, it wouldn't be very smart to get rid of them because
Right.
you can figure out some way to leverage what's in them. You can cash out, refi them. You can do something to get
Yep.
your money,
Okay.
and you can get that big chunk of change, and you can make your own decisions with that.
Right.
And then we've also we've invested in some deals passive. I think we've done 7 passive investments, not all multifamily. I think one of them is an industrial flex. And then we JV'd into some oil and gas. So we have a couple of oil wells.
Oh, yeah, in Texas, most
Nice.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mostly
Yeah.
Texas. I think we're in a couple of other states now, but we really like Texas. And then for our own syndications, we're right here in our backyard. So we like
Okay.
to invest here locally.
Because Texas is one of the few states that once you pay off, you become a land owner and not a land, you own the land and the house, correct?
I thought that's the way they all were.
No, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So from a broker's perspective, I could chime in here if I may. So yeah, for the most part, when you're buying the property, single family or multifamily or any type of property, you're definitely going to buy the standalone
Structure.
structure. Thank you. The standalone structure and the land that it lands on, unless there's covenants and restrictions to tell otherwise. So as long as
Okay.
there's no restrictions upon it,
Mm-hmm.
and then also, good point, you definitely want to make sure when you buy a property definitely make sure that the property address is correct and that it's well detailed in the government website,
Yes.
the tax assessor's office, and everything, and the title is correct. Because if not, you could be deeding the wrong property, and that happens often.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
could be
it'll
a
happen.
land owner, not a land holder, not an old
Yeah,
owner.
exactly. You could just
Okay.
be leasing the land. That happens. You could just be leasing the land and only own the actual structure. So it depends on how the deal is set up. And very important, which brings up another point in real estate, not just single family, multifamily, retail, um, mixed use, everything is negotiable, guys. Everything could be negotiated. So if you want the land and you also like the furniture, you could do a bill of sale and actually do a contract or work out like a bill of sale for the items that you like. Quick example. Quick example. I sold a property here in Georgia in Hiawassee, which you guys know is borderline with, I believe, South Carolina. And I sold that property, and the doctors that owned it, it's kind of like I would say it's like a vacation property because it has nice lake area and stuff like that and mountainside. But the investor that sold it was a doctor who retired, and him and his wife retired. They were living in another state for years already, um, and they didn't really care for the furniture. So they left all the furniture in the house. And that's part of what I negotiated with the deal. But my point is that was actually negotiable in the deal. You can't put it as part of the contract because it's a separate, it's called a bill of sale, but you could definitely identify it and say, oh, we want the sofa, we want the TV, whatever, the bedroom set, and put it as part of the contract. So everything is negotiable in real estate, every type of real estate, by the way.
And one last question. I don't remember the gentleman's name that spoke prior to Angel, but if he's in Georgia and we can find a realtor, I have not a lot of money, not like $100,000 like you're talking about. Those days are gone for now. But if he wants to partner and we can find a realtor and someone else in the group, I'm open.
You see? Awesome. Would you respond to that, please?
Is he
That
still
sounds
on?
good to me.
Yep,
That
Timothy.
sounds good to you? You see, guys, and I've said this before, and people think I'm making things up when I say it. Partnerships have started in this meetup. Deals have literally started in this meetup. I'm telling you because I've seen them where people are actually signing documents to deals and contracts to work together with stuff. So I'm glad you guys are talking to each other. Oh, definitely put your contact information in the chat. Make sure everybody does that. Sometimes the previous chat doesn't have the information, you guys. So let's put it again if you guys don't mind. Only so because I really want you guys to benefit from this time that we spent together. And hopefully you guys could partner up on deals. Please, if you do, let me know and maybe come back and give a testimonial that, hey, we kind of met as partners here on this meetup. That would be awesome, you guys. It would really help. Cool. Anybody else want to put their contact info? Everybody's on here. Me and Angel are on here. Marlene is on here. T, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't catch it. What's your full name?
Timothy.
Timothy. Thank you, Timothy. I'm so sorry I didn't catch it at first.
Putting this in. I'm just putting it in now. The chat.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, and keep in mind we could also see this in my YouTube channel. Feel free to go back, and there's other topics as well that you could go back. Now, here's a good networking tip I think could benefit everybody on this call and the people who watch the video. You could go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and you could go to past videos. And just like right now, we see us four here, right? You'll be able to see other investors that showed up. Sometimes it's what I call Cameo appearances, which are syndicators that are actually, hands-on doing deals. And you could reach out to them. And when I used to go to Joe Fairless's the meetup, the best ever, not the meetup, but his podcast, the best ever real estate investing podcast, I used to always do that at the end when they said, "Oh, here's my contact info." Right after, I would call them up and say, hey, I just watched your podcast. It was awesome. I loved it. I would love to set up a meeting. Can we talk? And what you would see is that these people were very willing to share the info. And and it benefits them too because they're talking about something they're passionate about, something they love. And when you love what you do, you just want to talk about it all the time. So thank you guys so much. If you want a copy of the chat, you guys know you can go to these three dots at the bottom of the chat box. Click on that, save the chat, and then you'll have it in your folders. So again, go to the bottom three dots in your chat box, click on those. Marlene, are you seeing that?
Yes, I am. I just discovered that.
Perfect. You see, and it helps. So yeah, and anything like that, you guys, if you could go to my YouTube channel and say something nice like that, like, look, I just learned something new today in Carlos's meetup. That would really help my algorithm and it will help promote this a little bit further. That would be great. I'd really appreciate it. And again, my free ebook, it's in the process. It'll be done soon. Feel free to send me an email and then I could send you a free copy. And what I'm going to try to do too, and I know I've been saying this for years, is start my newsletter again, and then I'll be sending it through there. I'm going to try to see if I can get somebody to help with my newsletter. So,
I have a question. You said the three dots at the bottom of the chat.
Yeah. So if you go to the chat box, see where it says meeting chat?
Yes.
Okay, go all the way down, and right after the emojis, you see those three dots.
Okay, so I see it says reply and then delete.
Keep going down.
Reply and delete. I don't see that. But yeah, everybody's is different. You know what I'm saying? So, but right where you see where it says to who you want to send the message to, it says to everyone.
Okay.
Right under that, there's a bunch of icons. The first one on mine says format. The second says screenshot. Third says file. Fourth is the emojis.
Is he using an Android or iPhone?
Yeah, are you on an
Android?
Oh, he's on a phone. He can't do it.
Oh, he's on a phone, so you're not going to be able to do it. That's the thing. I thought you were on your PC.
No, he can do file and he can screenshot it if he because I've been screenshotted because I'm on the phone, like you said, I can't see it, but I see where it says photo and file.
Look,
and it's
I learned
because I'm
something new
using an
today.
Android as well.
Awesome. Look, I learned something.
Check it out. You can screenshot too.
Yeah, just screenshot it because as long as you're on the phone, you won't be able to do it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and again, guys, go ahead, Timothy.
I was just saying, what am I screenshotting?
No, it's that little second button. I screenshot it. I screenshot the four of us. I didn't know you could do that. I'm all excited. That's a new thing.
Oh, with Apple. So that's one thing I do like about Apple. So I could press Control Command 4 and I could actually cut out exactly what I want to take a picture of. Or I could also do Control Alt 3 and it just takes a full photo of the screen. Marlene, that reminds me, that would be so great if we could get a photo of everybody who was here today. Would you join us on camera, please?
If not, I am ironing my uniform and I have a let me hold on.
Listen, I don't want to put you out. I don't want to put you out. I really enjoyed chatting with you today, especially before we got started. You were very nice and helpful. So I would like to, kind of have you as part of the meetup today.
Okay, well, let me put.
Thank you. And yeah, guys, so a quick photo and hopefully I could do this. Should I look here or should I look here?
If you look at the first one, we can see your face.
Okay, this one, right?
That's it.
All right, thank you, guys.
How do I put my face on here? Oh, start
video. Yes, ma'am. There you are. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. All right, guys.
No problem at all.
The count of three, everybody smiles. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
He has a halo.
Huh? Say that again.
My halo on.
Oh yeah, Angel.
Yeah. How clever.
I love that. Yeah.
I can Zoom a lot.
Trust me, Angel lives on Zoom every Monday. You'll catch her at 12 o'clock noon. By the way, go check it out. Go to my LinkedIn, find Angel Williams. Go to her meetup on Mondays at 12 o'clock. I try to go, but right now, like I'm working full time, so I can't make it. But you're going to see a lot of great people there. And again, great people that are willing to help out and that might be looking for what you might be offering. Um, you know, transitioning from single family to multifamily, you don't have to start like first three, then five, then seven. You could honestly go from single family all the way up to investing passively in 300 units if you wanted to. So, what I'd like for you guys to do is expand your mind, your horizons, and believe in yourselves because you could do it. And the only thing stopping you is you. Like Napoleon Hill says, if whatever the mind of man could believe and conceive, the mind of man could achieve. And I truly believe that. I believe it for you guys. I wish it for you guys. And there's somebody else who just came in. Your screen says LO and some numbers. Sorry, I don't have a name, but if you would, please tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing in multifamily, if you would. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Gotta run, but I'll see y'all later.
Thank you, Angel, so much for joining us. I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you.
All right, see you soon. All right, guys, thank you so much. All right, so that's okay. If you don't want to present, that's fine. But it's been a pleasure. Any other questions?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I can.
I apologize, but I was like doing a couple of things at one time. I didn't get to do, to join in with the whole meeting, but
That's
yeah,
quite all right.
I'm just considering some multifamily, and of course, do you have this recorded?
Yes, that's what I was just about to tell you. So this meetup will be edited. It is recorded. It will be edited, and it will be posted on my YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
And so you could get my contact info. And I'm sorry, your name is?
Shantae.
Shantae? Awesome.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Shantae,
a part of the REIA, and I go to meetings, but of course, I've been considering the multifamily, and I've been going to some other meetings here and
awesome.
there.
Yeah, that's
So,
important. Get the word out, get out there and network with everybody. That's really that's the way to get deals, guys. That's the way to get involved. That's the way to get in. And I'm going to tell you guys 3 good books, if you guys don't mind me sharing, since we're kind of like an open forum. 3 good books that I highly recommend that I think could help you in your journey.
what should you do?
Carlos D. Reinoso. It's in the chat box as well.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to the chat box, you could copy it as well. But it's Carlos D. Reinoso, just like you see under my name here in the screen.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
But yeah, next time, I'm trying, be at the whole thing during. Okay.
Awesome.
Nice
I appreciate
to meet
that.
you all, though.
Yes, same here. But listen, don't go just yet. I'm going to tell you 3 good books that I highly recommend. One is mine because I wrote this book, Selling Secrets You Can't Afford to Miss. It's a great sales book. So anything having to do with selling a house, especially selling a house, because it's a book I wrote to give back to the real estate industry. But for single family homes, great book. And it actually tells you how to transition from single family into multifamily. And this is for single family purchases and for sales in general. Another great book, one of my favorites, is the Best Ever Apartment Syndication book by Joe Fairless. Guys, I would screenshot this one because this is what I call the syndication Bible. And I know that sounds a little whatever, but trust me, look how thick this book is. This book is going to help you. And it's actually the one that catapulted me into hosting this meetup. Because in here, he talks about having a thought leadership platform. And that's just something like a meetup or a podcast or a YouTube or anywhere that you could promote what you're doing and get the word out there. Because in this industry, it's all about know, like, and trust. And when people know you, they can now get to like you. And if they like you, they could get to trust you. And once they trust you, ladies and gentlemen, they'll be investing into your real estate deals. And that's what we're trying to get at. And lastly, This one's from Robert Beersley, and it's the underwriting Bible, I would say, the definite guide to underwriting multifamily acquisitions by Rob Beardsley. Let me show you see. It's hard to see with my background, but that book comes, and the reason I recommend this one highly, with a free multifamily investing spreadsheet to help you analyze deals, guys. How awesome is that? So you could get the book, and I don't get any money from this. These are people that I work with personally, and I know that they're legitimate people. Anybody you ask in the industry about Robert Beersley, they're going to tell you hands down one of the best underwriters out there. And he knows that I have a high regard for him. He's been very helpful to me. So these are the 3 books I would highly recommend. Pretty much in this order. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll also put it in the show notes on my YouTube channel, so you guys will be able to pick them up. Any last questions before we close it out tonight?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity and your platform. And I met you and Angel. I actually had Angel scheduled for noon and fell asleep because I work third shift.
Oh,
So I
wow, that's a
fell back
hard
to
shift.
sleep. Oh, I missed her. Yes.
Yeah, but good news. I mean, like a lot of times I miss it too, but every Monday at 12 noon. So just go to LinkedIn, look for Angel Williams, and you'll find the link. And like I said, honestly, there are a lot of good people that are willing to help in that group. And then also find yourself a mastermind group. You guys feel free to reach out to me. Here's my contact info in the chat box. We could set up a time to meet over Zoom. We could meet in person if you guys would like. We could invest together. Who knows? We could partner up, all of us. Marlene, so you were saying you, Marlene, Timothy, me, and the other investors, because what I have like the whole gamut of what we need. I have securities and exchange attorneys lined up. I have regular attorneys lined up, um, underwriters, equity partners, capital stack money, hard money lenders, mezzanine loans, just you name it, property management. I have the connections. So at the very least, I could point you in the right direction. And hopefully, who knows, maybe we could work a deal in the near future. Marlene, thank you very much, because that was very kind of you to say. And, honestly, I don't get a lot of compliments. So when I do, I'm really taken aback. And I really appreciate you for taking your time. And, as tired as you must be, you still joined us and you participated and were very helpful. So thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
All righty. If there's nothing else, I just want to say, go ahead, Timothy.
One question. So you said that you're selling your house. Where are you going to be staying?
That's a great question. So I realized that I don't want to own anymore. Single family at least, right? So I'm either going to do one of 2 things, man. Either I buy something where I could pay it off like cash or something like that. Or I get something like what?
Like a tiny home?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Either like a really small, because I mean, the maintenance to a house is just, and I've had several houses, I've had several condos, townhomes, condos especially. And honestly, I've always just liked condos and apartments best. And I wanted the pool and all that good stuff. That's why I wanted the house and the acreage, right? My yard is actually half an acre. So my plan was to put a pool, and then behind us you could actually build. So I was going to build something behind there and rent it out as well. But my wife got a promotion at work, and she's being relocated. So we're all moving upstate, still in Georgia, but my work is remote. Everything I do in multifamily for the most part is remote. I could be hands-on and drive to the property, and I could be on my computer from just about anywhere. So I'm gonna join her over there. Um, and so yeah, we're gonna sell the house, and it's not the first time. I've done it before, where you just sell and or get the equity or both, and that's what you throw in for your investment. And the thing is with multifamily, even when single family, like right now, has slowed and the interest rates are so high and it's affecting the whole market, with multifamily, people still find ways around it. So there's this thing called the lease option to purchase, and I'm sure you've heard about it because you were talking about, seller financing. So it's basically you're buying the option to purchase the house further down the line, and for right now, you're just going to give some consideration. Yeah, consideration, $5,000, $10,000, whatever you negotiate, and then after that, let's say 3 years down the line, you actually end up purchasing the property or not. You have the option, but if you do, then that money goes toward what you've already bought for that property. So it's a good way for somebody to go again from 0 to 100 units. If you could talk directly to a seller and say, would you be willing to seller finance, even though that's not the first thing you want to do because they're going to run from you because you're obviously you're saying I don't have cash and you could help me. So the first thing you want to say is, hey, are you willing to sell? What is a good um, um, sell price? But after you find out and whatever, then you ask them casually, would you be willing to sell or finance? Would you be, interested in an option, a purchase option to buy? And if so, you could get in. And then again, I have the key principles of people who are willing to put their financials, their credit and their track record, mostly their track record, so that they could partner on deals with you. So yeah, you find deals. It's a good way to get partners. It doesn't guarantee you partnerships, right? Or people to work with you, but at least it lets people know that, look, these people are working deals. They're out there, they're boots on the ground. And that's going to get, next time somebody's in Atlanta looking to purchase. Well, I remember Timothy, I remember Marlene, they were looking to buy 30 units in Atlanta. Let's see if maybe they could help out with boots on the ground. Maybe they're willing to do whatever the case might be. So that's always going to be beneficial to get out there. Join a mastermind, some kind of group where there's other investors and people that are getting started. Have a mentor, and I would suggest having several mentors. Um, Honestly, I'm not the guy with a lot of capital. I'm not the richest guy in the world. I'm your average Joe, and I have at least right now, off the top of my head, I could think about at least three mentors. One is for career guidance. One is for business guidance, and then my mentor about multifamily syndication. On top of that, guys, I live on this. I'm reading books all the time. I'm watching YouTube channels all the time. I'm looking at contracts. By the way, if anybody wants to start looking at contracts, I just got to hang my license with somebody real quick. But I could show you blank contracts that are being used to purchase syndications here in Georgia right now, which is helpful because you could see how you could, drop an LOI, letter of intent. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Any other questions?
Well, me again.
Yeah.
If you see someone who has a multi-unit, maybe not 30, give Timothy and I a call because I am really, really looking. Someone suggested, I don't think it was Angel, but someone suggested instead of getting a single family right here on your platform, get a duplex or a triplex or quadplex and live in one, and I could almost live for free. I've played with that thought in the
Mhm.
last year since, I've lost my last house
Yes, ma'am.
and just kept focusing on single family, which again, this is a blessing for me to have been able to log on. Please let us know. I am ready. I am ready like today, right now. You have a deal, somebody who wants to sell a property and you put a small down payment and we take over their mortgage or something like that, since you're here in Georgia and
Mhm.
you're in the field, let me know. I put my phone number in the chat. I am ready to do the
That's
deal.
awesome. I love that. I love that. And then one thing that could help you show other people that you're ready to is get like a resume, if you will, of a track record of your current experience. Sometimes you could do that as far as part of some people call it a pitch deck. Some people call it
Mm-hmm.
like a an offering memorandum, if you will. But
Okay.
just your own experience and your own track record. Like you were telling me, you had single family. You sold them for other like duplexes and whatnot. So have something where you could show people that. So if anybody says, okay, but what have you done? Oh, okay, look, here's what I've done. I'm going to shoot you an email, and you could
Mm-hmm.
see my experience, and that's going to help you. It's kind of get in the door before you do.
The
So I highly
elevator.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and also your elevator pitch, that's separate.
Yes.
Your elevator
Mm-hmm.
pitch, like somebody said recently, I love that. This was brand new. They said when you're in an elevator, give me the elevator pitch when the door is closing, and you got to tell somebody what you do.
Exactly.
I love that because that's even
Mm-hmm.
faster than your regular elevator pitch. So
Right.
the door's closing, right? Hey, so what do you do? Multifamily syndications.
There you go. And your name.
That's it. And
They will
that's
remember.
I love that. So think of it like it's the doors are closing and you got to give them your pitch instantly. And then you both brought up duplexes and and greater units, quads, and 5 units and the like. So what I would suggest there, what you're talking to, I like to put a name to it so that a lot of people refer to that like in bigger pockets and other forums like house hacking. And I believe it was
Ah.
coined originally on bigger pockets, house hacking. And it's a great thing to do, and a lot of people do it, and it's a great way to get started. Why? Because it takes little investment. You could be living, like Timothy was saying, Carlos, where are you going to go? That's an option, right? I could possibly buy a 5 unit and live in the fourth, or I could buy a
Mm-hmm.
six and live in the fifth, and so on. Um, but the best thing about that is that I could get the experience, and I could break out of that comfort zone, and I could forget that mentality, the lack mentality, and I could get more into the abundance mentality because now I'm like living it, right? I'm living the deal. I'm actually working. I'm in the market. And like for me, that's what it took. It took this meetup. It took deciding I'm not going to do single family as a broker anymore. It took letting people know that, hey, I want to syndicate. I want to be a general partner. And look, I have the experience now. So
Right.
websites, very important because a website, a lot of people don't have websites and they're fine, they're successful, everything. But if you're trying to get started, a website is a great way for for you to send people traffic, send them to your
Yes.
website. Now they could be there and they could go, oh, look at what Marlene is up to. Oh, I see
Mm-hmm.
now. I see. Yeah, she's doing what I'm doing. Yeah, let me see about let me call her up. Let me check out her website. And that's another thing. Before somebody reaches out to you, they've already done the research on you. They've checked your background.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they know you, believe it or not. Because I've had people tell me, hey, Carlos, I saw your meetup and your YouTube channel and your LinkedIn. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't see you, on my YouTube. I don't see who's there. Um, and so you want to definitely network, get out there, but at the same time, be ready. So when the opportunities like me in this meetup, I have all my information. And this is a tip that another investor gave me. I forget now who, but you put all your information in your notes or whatever you have, like Microsoft Word, I think you could do it too, and then have it just PDF. So you copy and paste it. And every time you get to a meetup, the first thing you do, as soon as you enter the meetup, boom, you send it to everybody. This is who I am. And again,
Mm.
that'll get in the door before you do.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? I mean, you guys, if you want more tips, again, seriously, this book seriously has a lot of the tips I'm talking about right now. Selling Secrets You Can Afford to Miss. It's a free book. I mean, it's not a free book. I'm charging for it, but I only have like 10 left. I only bought like 20 copies, and I think I would probably only have like 5 left. So, and if you'd like, I could even, autograph it because I like when people autograph the book. But if not, I could definitely get it to you. Just let me know, and we'll work something out. No big deal. I'm not in it for the money. I really like helping. So, what else? Oh, and in the future, I do plan to do something similar to what Angel's doing. I'm part of a mentor group where I'm being taught by another broker, if you will. So I want to do the same. I want to have my own like educational platform where I could also help out. Like you guys are saying, how do we get started? I have the answers to those questions. Like, believe me, I know how to get started because I started from zero. And if I could start from zero, anybody could. Something else, your credit is super important. Get it as good as you can, because that's going to speak volumes for you as well. And if anybody like a lender is on the fence about working with you or not, and your credit is good, and you have a website, and you have a good track record and a good team, that's going to put you overboard and it's going to get you that loan or that deal approved. So definitely recommend that. And network with other lenders, people who have the loans, network with private investors. Great tip here. I hope you guys take note of this one. This is a great, great, great tip. It could make you millions very soon. Go to my LinkedIn. No, go to your LinkedIn. I'm sorry. Go to your LinkedIn and in their search bar, put private equity, put hard money lender, put mezzanine lenders or loans, mezzanine. And that's basically another word for saying hard money. And network with those people, get to know those people. Um, Ask them for term sheets. Term sheets basically tells you what the loans are, how much the interest rate is going to cost, what their parameters of the loan are, and that what I call that is reverse engineering. And I did that when I bought my house. I did that when I bought investments. I do that for just about everything. I first figure out how to do it, and then I work backwards from there and I prepare. So by the time I get to the opportunity, I'm way ahead of schedule and I'm ready to go. When Prashant asked me to raise capital on his deal in San Antonio, he asked me, and that same day I was in the I mean, not even an hour later, I was on the phone with him and in the meetup in his property meetup. And you got to be like that. You got to be ready to go. Any other questions?
So, just two questions. First, so what do you feel about those, I guess, programs or whatnot that investors such as Grant Cardone or Ken McElroy with Robert Kiyosaki, like who has many units that they put out, or even the YouTube videos and advice that they put out?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the information they're giving. It's accurate information. I recommend it. I listen to him all the time. I'm actually good friends with Robert Kiyosaki to the point that Robert Kiyosaki, how for the most part you're going to reach out to them and you go, hey, you're my mentor. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I want to. Robert Kiyosaki reached out to me on LinkedIn. Why I don't know. Why I don't know, but he reached out to me, and I think the reason why is because again, when you get the word out there about what you're doing, sometimes these people, the higher ups, if you will, or the experienced people is what I would call them, experienced investors and syndicators, they see your hustle, man. They see you rushing. They see you trying. They see you getting out there. My mentor tells me all the time, like when we meet, he tells everybody, he's like, look, guys, try to do like what Carlos is doing with his meetup. Because ask Carlos what he's doing. Because look, it's working, and he's got a lot more people coming to the meetups and stuff. And actually, I haven't done it as good as I used to in a while, because I used to promote it everywhere. I have 4 Facebook pages. I have two business. I have two business Facebook pages, and my personal Facebook page. I passed the 5,000 mark, and I already had 5,000 in a wait list. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that to get the word out there about what you're doing, because that's the way the opportunities present themselves. And that's pretty much the best advice that this book gives, is to start a thought leadership platform like this meetup, like podcast, like Robert Kiyosaki, like Dan Hanford, like who was the other that you mentioned? Ken McElroy. Ken is awesome. The ABCs of real estate investing, great book. I'll read any book that Ken writes because he was first and foremost a property manager, so he knows his stuff. Read up, guys. Go to my YouTube channel, check out all the videos. There's over 40 something videos. all about investing in multifamily. Check out the investors that you see on there, reach out to them directly. Hey, you know, I saw you on Cardos's Meetup, Multifamily Investor Nation, Monday. I wanted to talk to you and see if you could, you know, guide me or, you know, any tips you could share, whatever the case might be. And I'm telling you, I call it investor cameo appearances because these guys are friends of mine that come to the show and they're coming to add values to the guest, right? So they're willing to share the info. Just reach out to them. And then I always advise is add value to everybody before you ever ask for anything. And you know, I'm at a fault where I don't even ask even after I've given people stuff. But still, because when you add value, then people are going, this guy's different. This lady's different. She's not like everybody else that they just want this and they just want that. And like they, you know, a lot of times people come to me, oh, I would love to what's the term? To rack your brain. I'm like, don't touch my brain, please. Leave my brain alone. I like it where it is. But you guys know what I mean. Like, no,
Yes.
like I want to help you, but my God, so does everybody else wants something from you, right? Like
What are you
some of them
offering?
want to use you, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
of them want to be abused. But instead of using people, let's give back to people. Let's show them that our value. Look, this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is how I'm going to help you. If nothing else, look, I don't have experience, but I just went to an awesome meetup. Carlos brought a lot of value. Check him out. First Monday of every month. Go check out his video. And in turn, if I hear Timothy promoted me to somebody else and somebody says, hey, you know, in Georgia, anybody know somebody who wants to find a team or whatever? Hit Timothy up, hit Marlene up. They're interested. They're great people. I'm going to refer you guys because you guys, you're adding value to me. Does that make sense, people? We're helping each other
Absolutely.
out. And it's all about that. That's what everybody's in this industry is all about.
Networking.
Networking, but adding value also.
Yes.
So don't only take, give first. And the book, the Go Giver, give to receive.
Right.
Or better, give and you shall receive, but don't do it to receive.
Right.
But as you're giving, this meetup is something that I give voluntarily out of my time. And it even, I think I said at the beginning, it even costs me money. But I do it willingly and lovingly because it matters to me that I've gotten all this great information that I can share it with other people that I know are also looking for this great information. And guys, we're getting direct info from $1 billion company, billion with a B. The information I'm literally sharing with you guys, part is the 23 years experience that I have, but we have like an outline, and that outline comes from my mentor, Dan Hanford, and they've started, I think it was like 4 years ago now, and they went from zero to $1 billion, I think over 4,000 units under management, kind of like Grant Cardone. Now, Grant Cardone, nothing wrong with the man. He's great at sales. I've read every sales book he has. I suggest everybody read sales book because everything you do in life is sales. Like it or not. You just watched a good movie. You want your brother, your sister, your uncle, your mom to go see the movie. What are you going to do? You're going to say, oh my God, I watched that movie. It's the best movie. You definitely got to see it. You're recommending it. You're selling that movie to other people. I'll give you, I mean, I have 1,000 examples, but basically in life, sales is very important skill set to have. It works for everything. And alongside sales, confidence. You could be like, I consider myself an introverted, an extroverted introvert, right? So for the most part, I tend to be inward. But when I have to come out of my shell, I can. I prefer to be introverted though. Does that make sense? So, but come out of your shell, let people know what you're doing, network, start a website if you can. The website I started, if you could see this link over here, It's Apartment Investor Pro and my company name. So Apartment Investor Pro, you can get a website. It's kind of like a cookie cutter website, but it's a good starting platform to let people know, hey, look, this guy he's serious. He has a website. Look what he's doing. So have a website. Anything else? Any other questions? Because seriously, guys, honestly, I could talk for years on real estate. This is my most passionate topic in the world, except for one other, which I'll keep private.
Well, I'm gonna have to run, guys, because I have something else I got to do. We'll talk soon, T.
All right, sounds good, Marlene. And thank you, Carlos. I really enjoyed this. Look forward to coming back.
My pleasure.
And giving back as well.
Awesome, guys. I love that. Thank you so much, Timothy. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today. This is Carlos D. Reinoso with Multifamily Investor Nation. Signing off. See you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
All right.